Hey guys, just wanted to give you an introduction here to lab number 9. It's our chapter 10 lab called Weight Loss Comparisons. So as I read this, it says, in this lab, students will perform hypothesis tests comparing several weight loss programs. Of course, this will be a two-sample hypothesis test like we saw in chapter 10. And what it's based around are these different diets. So we read there, the Journal of the American Medical Association describes the effects of diet on weight control. In a study, 311 people were randomly placed into one of 4 diet plans, right? Imagine volunteering for this program and they say, okay, you're going to follow the Atkins diet or you're going to follow this other diet. And you have no choice but to follow that to see how much weight you lose. And so there are 4 diet plans that they studied. The Atkins diet, and you see it says, what is that? Basically low carb and high protein. There's also the Learn diet, the Ornish diet, and the Zone diet. The Zone diet, you see there is the balanced one. The others, okay, anyway, you can look at that. That's not important. So what are we going to do with this? So we have this table of data. It says each subject received weekly instructions for their diet plan for 2 months. So everybody that volunteered got 2 months of instructions. 1 year after beginning the study, the weight loss of each subject was measured. So it wasn't until a year later that they gathered all of their data to see how much weight people had lost through the different diet plans. And so there we see it. Atkins, N is right, the sample size, so 77 people. Follow the Atkins diet. They had an average weight loss, X bar, of 10.36. I imagine that's pounds. Yeah, it is pounds. They had a sample standard deviation of 15.79. So fairly large spread to the data, but on average 10.36. And we see similar numbers for the Learn, the Ornish, and the Zone. The sample sizes change a little bit, and obviously the average weight loss changes and the sample standard deviation changes a little bit from each one. So what are we going to do here? You're going to end up computing or going through 3 different hypothesis tests. So in number 1, this is the most guided. It tells us exactly what to do. Conduct a 2-sample hypothesis test to determine if the weight loss on Atkins was higher than the weight loss on the Learn. So we're specifically choosing here Atkins and Learn, right? Whenever we do one of these hypothesis tests, it's always going to be that we have to choose 2 of them to compare. So we're going to be looking at Atkins versus Learn. And they say use significance level 0.05. In part A, it says, think of Atkins as group 1, Learn as group 2. Do the null and alternative hypotheses, right? Calculate the test statistic, and it walks you through p-value. It walks you through the test. When you get to number 2, now you get to choose. Try out a different combination of 2 groups. And it tells you how to pick group 1 and group 2. Group 1 will be the one with a higher sample mean. So the higher, whichever 2 you pick, the higher X bar. Just consider that as group 1 is what we're asked to do. And you're also going to pick, for number 2 here, you're going to pick a level of significance that seems appropriate to you. Now, the level of significance, the alpha, the go-to is 0.05, but you might pick something a little bit higher or a little bit lower, depending on how difficult you want it to be to prove, to show that you have enough evidence. So if you pick something bigger than 0.05, then it's a little bit easier to reach statistical significance. But if you choose something smaller than 0.05, like maybe 0.01, or you could choose 0.02 or anything like that, then it's going to, the smaller it gets, the more difficult it becomes to show statistical significance. So this is kind of preparing you for what you're going to be doing. Even in the final project, you'll have to choose your own significance level and do your hypothesis tests. But 0.05 is the standard and is a good choice, always a good choice to go with 0.05, but maybe you want to go a little higher, a little lower. Okay, then in part B, that's when you do the test, go through all the steps. Okay, I'll give an interpretation of the decision. Right there you are. Number 3. Now you're going to do a third combination. This time, so pick a new combination, different than the other two. Now you're testing just to see if weight loss was different. In number 2, it was to see if weight loss in group 1 was higher. But now you're just going to see, is it simply different? So again, going through the steps and then giving the interpretation there. And there you go. That is lab number 9.